Thank you, Chelsea, for that absolutely exquisite performance. It was very, very beautiful. Think about it. How rare to know someone who is the personification of kindness, of determination, of integrity, of unstinting and continuing humanity. And that person is my cherished friend and the great Canadian, the Honorable Margie Norrie McCain. I have a trove of emails that go back all the way to 2005, when Margaret and Wallace McCain spearheaded the Grand Jeté campaign to rebuild Canada's National Ballet School. I was directing a film on Celia Franca Tour de Force, which coincided with the opening of the Celia Franca Center at NBS, and I used footage of that to bookend the film. Entirely self-effacing at that grand celebration was Margaret. And yet, it was she who had set an impossible target. She'd persuaded her husband, Wallace, who was known to shout out, "I don't think I like ballet very much." But my wife does. And they galvanized together a who's who of donors, and I do see some special ones here today, which climaxed in a fundraising triumph for the new Canada's National Ballet School. Well, shortly after that, I was invited to a dinner at the McCain home, and I thought it was to celebrate all the other wonderful donors. And over cocktails, Margie, in her, I can close my eyes and see and hear her now, in her very gentle and her soft-spoken way, she said, "I think some of you know why we're here tonight." And I nodded knowingly. And then she said, "We've just about attained our goal, but we're 5 million short. And so Wallace and I would like to cap it by naming Studio 2A for Rex Harrington and Studio 5A in honor of Veronica." I was dumbfounded. Margie, your emails, they sparkle with wit, brevity, and your empathy. Margaret Norrie, from her earliest years, has focused on children. And when I say all children, I mean all children. She founded the Margaret and Wallace McCain Family Foundation with a vision that is in full force right now, today, transforming government policies for equitable access to early childhood education, ECE, insisting that all children in Canada be given the best possible early, high-quality education. She calls it playing with purpose. As NBS's first chancellor, Margie spoke passionately about sharing dance with Canadians of all ages and all abilities, where there is a place for everyone. I hope you don't mind, Margie. I'm going to share a snippet of an email that you sent me after a ballet performance last year. "Words fail me. I came home emotionally impacted and my senses stimulated to the 9th degree. 2 exclamation marks. Wow, capital letters. I am emotional about it all. I love dance." And just a day ago, Margie told me, "What hooked me was the passion of dancers and what they are willing to endure. Their commitment and their discipline defies description. There's nothing I love more than to sit in on a dance class, and often in my mind, I pretend it could be me." Margaret Norrie McCain, you are the definition of a community builder and how right it is that you be inducted into the 2022 DCD Dance Hall of Fame. Brava. I would like to introduce Jen McCain, granddaughter of Margie McCain, to accept the award.
Good afternoon, or I think we're crossing the evening threshold here. Fellow inductee supporters, friends, community members, congratulations in advance to the other recipients, and thank you for the kind introduction, Veronica. It's a privilege to provide a few remarks on behalf of my grandmother, or Nanny, as I call her. Although it's always been a dream of my Nanny's to dance since she was little, do not fear, she did not decide to take up the art at the ripe age of 88, and that is not why she broke her ankle. But a broken ankle is the reason she's not here on stage today. Although it's a common injury in this line of art, active participation has not been her role. Growing up in rural Quebec and Atlantic Canada, there was no access to dance programming and training. It wasn't an opportunity that was afforded to her. But regardless, since I can recall, dance has been one of my Nanny's greatest joys. She credits her focus and discipline to this art form and the requirement of forcing to surrender entirely and pursue a greater purpose. This is a storyline that rings through many themes in my Nanny's life. She is generous, graceful, and supportive, but not boastful. She is encouraging from afar and a role model amongst generations. My family's collective genetics stray far, far away from the level of coordination, movement, and artistic mastery that it requires. We have been much better spectators than participants. Today, we honor one of the greatest spectators the Canadian dance community has known, who in their own right has too moved many people. She is mesmerized and in awe of the talent in our arts community, so much so that as her granddaughter, you can't help but share in that magical space that she's created that is her love of dance. It is that role and that space that today, with the acceptance of this award on her behalf, we celebrate. I'd like to close with some words on behalf of my Nanny. Through dance, I have learned the true meaning of passion and have been inspired by it. So this honor means the world to me, and I extend my heartfelt gratitude. Thank you very much.